Welcome back. They are mostly women and children, leaving their husbands, fathers, and sons behind. Danielle Hamamdjian is on the border between Ukraine and Poland, documenting the escape from Ukraine.
An old Ukrainian legend says the fate of the world depends on this 2,500-year-old tradition.
I am writing a Ukrainian Easter egg called a pisanka.
As Kathy Varelli waits to hear from loved ones in Ukraine, she finds comfort in this ritual.
In each of these sections, there's a person, and they're all holding hands. But all the people come from different directions. So for me, the symbolism is that it's going to take the world to be able to support Ukraine.
She's trying to stay positive amid the devastating news from her family's native homeland.
I don't want to write sadness, in my egg, even though that's maybe what is in my heart.
Indiscriminate bombing and clashes on the streets are forcing a mass exodus from Ukraine. They're waiting days for evacuation trains, endless hours in cars and lineups near the border, and trekking kilometers slowly, painfully on foot. She says they walked for 25 kilometers at night. They're escaping to the west and south. The majority have crossed into Poland. Experts warn we could be on the verge of the biggest displacement of Europeans since the Second World War. More than 1 million people have already fled Ukraine, but that number is expected to rise sharply to 4, perhaps even 5 million. From the very young to the very old, women are fleeing with their young children, forced to leave husbands, brothers, and sons, all men of fighting age, behind. This woman told us she doesn't want to be identified, but is clear about where she's going.
The first stage is Poland, because I have the sister here and some friends here, and then the next step it will be Canada.
Where in Canada?
Vancouver.
You have family there?
Yes, my family there. I have my sister, also my uncle.
Ottawa claims to have already approved nearly 4,000 Ukrainians as immigrants. This in the wake of Afghanistan's recent humanitarian crisis, where Ottawa's paperwork blunders prevented refugees from getting swift shelter in this country. Ottawa has now made some changes. It's now prioritizing applications from Ukrainians in urgent need, including for permanent residency.
Let me be absolutely clear. In this difficult time, we're standing with you.
That's Minister of Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship, Sean Fraser. In a meeting with the Ukrainian-Canadian Congress, he assured them Ottawa is already helping on the ground.
We've negotiated the safe passage of Canadian citizens and permanent residents and their families with countries that border Ukraine to the west, including Poland, Moldova, Slovakia, Hungary, and Romania.
He didn't say how many. Just across the border in Poland, a shelter. A refuge for those who were left with nowhere else to go. Like Olga, who escaped only with her cat and one suitcase. I'm feeling really bad, she says. In one day, all my life has changed. I don't know when I'm back in Kyiv, my lovely Kyiv. A lot of friends are still there. I don't know what will happen to them. Zoya walked 15 kilometers with her daughter and granddaughter, who's 5, and oblivious to what's going on. She says it's been very difficult, but is doing anything to stay positive.
Here as well, everything is very organized. They're very, very polite. They want to help.
So are complete strangers like Alexander.
he can take 3 persons maximum.
Who drove 500 kilometers just to offer help, saying he has the resources and an opportunity to help the people of Ukraine. So he's not going home with an empty car. Even more offers of help outside. We'll drive you at no cost to Prague, this sign reads. And another offers a ride to Krakow, 4 spots. Others are waiting for those they do know to arrive. Like Ella, waiting for her son.
I've been standing here the second day.
So he's been in line for 24 hours?
Yeah, то есть мы стали в очереди 24 часа.
No. At another crossing, the wait's been even longer. This part of the Medica border crossing is dedicated to foreign refugees. Many African and South Asian students here are saying they've been treated much differently from Ukrainians trying to escape, including Stephanie and her brother from Nigeria, who spent 4 days trying to get through.
What do you study? You study medicine. And tell me what your journey was like.
Okay, I moved from Ternopil to Lviv, then going to the Medica border. And they were not allowing blacks at first.
They were not allowing black people at first.
Then later they started allowing women, only women and children.
Only Ukrainian women and children.
And some blacks, like 10%.
10%.
Or 5. Then if I go out, they wouldn't allow my brother to leave. So
You didn't want to leave your brother? Yeah.
So we had to wait in the line, and the soldiers were beating people up.
They were beating people up?
Yeah, some people. Like if you talk back at them, they'll beat you up.
Like how? I mean,
they kick you, beat you, punch you, anything they want to do to you.
They punched you?
No, they punch guys.
People who
yes,
tried to get
talk
in line.
to yes, talk to them and stuff like that. So that's for the Ukrainian side, and they allow their people to walk freely. Well, they treat us like we don't even exist. They just treat us badly.
They're headed back home to Nigeria, but first on a train to Warsaw, 400 kilometers from here. It's anyone's guess how long that will really take. Back in Canada, Kathy is desperate for news from loved ones hiding in Ukraine.
And this was the last text I got from them. We rest from the shelling almost all the time in the cellar. The ground trembles, the windows fly out. And this was probably over 24 hours ago. As they are in their bunker, they must be wondering, how is the rest of the world responding?
But in the midst of all the chaos and uncertainty, there is still some beauty and light. And moments like this.
Canada is offering immediate haven to Ukrainians for up to 2 years as refugees or as permanent residents, but they will still have to go through the usual background checks to get visas.